Hello, and welcome to the Nerdy Photographer Podcast. I'm your host, Casey Fatchett. If you haven't been listening lately, I've been embarking on a series of adventures with the crew of the starship Fibonacci. I like to refer to them as my hashtag nerdy photo crew. Right now, I am out with Rula 3RDS and Golden Hour, the Snug Warrior, trying to locate some supplies at a local spaceport.
Snug, 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 snug.
I agree, Golden. I think we're lost.
Snug.
Well, I'm not going to tell them. Hey, Rula, who's our guest on this week's episode?
Anthony Collins.
Oh, yes. Anthony and I are discussing some of the weirdest things clients have asked people to do, and these include submissions from you, the listeners, that were submitted to me on Reddit. So stay tuned for some of the craziest things your fellow photographers have been asked or experienced right after this short message. Hey everybody, Casey from the Nerdy Photographer here. Are you looking for a new web host? Maybe your current host isn't so great at support, or maybe your website runs really slow. I can't recommend SiteGround enough. My site runs faster than it ever has with any other web host that I've had in 20 years. The support is so much better than any other company I have hosted with before. And right now, during the COVID-19 pandemic, SiteGround is offering 3 months of hosting for just 99 cents. That's 33 cents a month. You can't beat that deal. Go over to siteground.com/go/nerdy to get 3 months of hosting for just 99 cents. That's siteground.com/go/nerdy to get 3 months of hosting for just 99 cents. Hello, I'm Casey Fatchett, and welcome to the Nerdy Photographer Podcast. I am back again with my friend Anthony Collins, with us remotely.
Hey there, Casey. How are you?
I'm good. Anthony is with us remotely because of the coronavirus pandemic. And today, we're going to be talking about... We're going to be playing a game called Real or Bullshit with weird things clients have said to people. Are you ready to play, Anthony?
I'm all yours, man. Let's do this.
First one. Client asked, why don't I shoot with, quote, the big lens? And why are you using, quote, the small one? And he thought the bigger lens meant higher quality photos.
Do I think that's real? That's
Yeah.
absolutely real. That is absolutely real.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I agree that's real.
Yeah.
That was sent in, but I am 100% positive that really happened.
And again, probably about every 10th event that you do, that happens. Yeah.
Events? This is like headshots.
Yeah. Oh God, even headshots they question you. Jeez.
Why are you using the skinny lens? Next one. The skinny lens? You never had somebody ask you for the skinny lens?
No. Oh, to make them look skinny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tell them I just bought a filter from B&H. I go, oh yeah, I got this slimming filter from B&H. That's what I tell them. I say that all the time. I got the special slimming filter from B&H.
Nice. I got to start using that one. Next one. I was told that my camera is shit because my lens doesn't zoom in and out.
Again, yes, real. People have all kinds of ridiculous things in there. Absolutely. I'm sure it happens.
Bruh. Does your lens even zoom? Does your lens zoom, bro? I agree.
I'm sure it happened.
I'm sure that happened. I am absolutely sure. Next one. I had a client ask me to Photoshop about, this is the quote, 50 to 100 pounds off of her in a photo for her business where she was standing in front of a bookcase in her office.
Absolutely. I had a bride, honest to God, say to me, I'm going to go on a diet after the wedding. She said this to me, can you take about 30 pounds off me in all the proofs? I swear to God, she asked me that.
Yeah, I've had some, I don't know if you remember, I worked at another studio for a while. doing like albums and stuff, and I had a bride, one of that studio's brides, asked me the same thing. Can you take 30 pounds off of me and get rid of my tan, because I'm not normally tan in all of my photos, all like 1,500 of them. And I was just like, yeah, we're not going to do that.
Casey, if you have a second, I had a client. I shot her son's, I'm going to say her son's 30th birthday party. A big deal. She spent a lot of money on this, like bar mitzvah money.
Yeah.
And when it came to the proofs, I gave her the proof page, and I said, anything you're uncomfortable with, please tell me, and I'll remove it from the proof page before you send it out. And she made me a list. About halfway through their list, I realized that they're all the photos with this one woman in the photos. And so I asked her. I mean, I'm not going to just pretend it doesn't exist. I asked the client. I said, who is this woman? She said to me, again, on my life, she said, it's my son's girlfriend, and I'm going to see to it that he gets rid of her. I swear to God to you on my life. I mean, this woman was with her son as a girlfriend at his 30th birthday party. But the mother wanted her removed.
Wanted her gone.
A whole set of proofs. Because she's going to see to it that he leaves her. I was like, wow, that's like rich people stuff. That stuff I don't even know.
Yeah, you know what? That's
like you're not getting your percentage of the family fortune if you see it. It was like Dallas or Dynasty or something.
Yeah. I mean, I had one that was similar to that, but it was later. Like, it was like when the pictures came back from the like I had sent the proofs out to them, so it was like a month or so after the wedding, and they were like, can you remove this dude from all of the family pictures? And I was just like, it was the sister's boyfriend who had like cheated on her, and they, then the family found out, and I was like, this is why I told you, do pictures without fucking significant others.
Yeah.
And nobody listened to me. They're like, no, he's family. And I was just like,
no, he's not.
No, he's not. He's not family. We always do one without him. So yeah,
got it. Remember that Michelle Ndege Ocholo song from the 80s? It's like, if that's your girlfriend, she wasn't last night. Something like that. That might be your girlfriend, but she wasn't last night.
Yes. Yeah, I remember that song. Yeah, and it's just like, come on. Like, I'm the professional. Like, there's a reason I'm telling you to do this. It's because this shit
one
happens.
thing, though, is I always try never to say no to a client.
No, I never say no. I'm not saying
before I talk to them about that, I would say, look, I can remove him for this amount per image, and just give them a ridiculous number.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That part. I'm talking about solving the problem before it happens, and taking the picture without them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I'm telling you, let's do pictures without the significant others. I mean, I'm talking all of them, because people get divorced too. Let's do a picture of just the family, no significant others, no spouses. Let's just do that, and then like. No, we want them in there. They're family. I'm like, we'll do a picture with them, but just in case, we're gonna do a picture without them. And they invite me on it a lot. I'm like, Then I had one. It was one of my first weddings I ever did. Actually, it might be like the second or third wedding I ever did. The parents were divorced. Groom's parents were divorced, and there was only one picture of the groom's dad with his sister in it, like in the group, and mom was like in the middle of the fucking group, and he's like, can you take her out? And I was like, and luckily, like, she had her arms like behind like the people on either side of her.
So it wasn't a horrible photo.
It wasn't it looks great. You would like, I showed it to Caroline, and she was like, oh, these are two different pictures. And I was like, no. But I mean, I had to redo the sky behind them, and like,
you got to create
the
something.
ground.
It's not just removing them.
And that was 20.
To go behind them.
That was 20 years ago. I didn't have all the crazy Photoshop stuff that we've got now. Like, content aware fill, great. But yeah, like, and I was like, he's like, how much is it going to cost? And I'm like, it's going to be like starting price, like, let's see how much this is going to be. It's going to be like $300 or $400. And he was like, okay. Yeah. And he was like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, I guess you don't like her that much. Okay, great.
I will tell you something that just happened to me 2 days ago. I had a big corporate client of mine call and say, we need a photo of the CEO, who I've shot several times. We need a photo of the CEO not smiling. And I went through all of my archives. I was popping in SATA drives trying to find an image of the CEO not smiling, and I did not have one, because it's a female CEO, and she just does not look good not smiling in a picture. And so whenever we shot, and she knows this, she had a nice smile on her face. And when you show them the proofs, if you showed her a picture without a smile, she might even say to you, why would you include this in the proof?
Right.
It looked terrible.
She needs a serious picture.
Everything I shot of her was with a smile. Well, they're sending out a COVID-19 press release like every other company is doing, and they didn't want her smiling.
Yeah, you need a serious picture.
I need a what?
You need a serious picture.
Yes, but I didn't have one.
Right.
Did not. I went through conferences that I shot with this company, and other board meetings and things that I shot, and I did not have, and it's a lesson, but I did not have a picture of her not smiling, because she looks infinitely better when she's smiling. So if I had seen it like in the proof, I would have just deleted it or just X'd it out in Lightroom or something.
Yeah.
But it's a lesson learned.
Yeah.
I even tried photoshopping a picture, taking the smile away with Liquify and, lowering the cheeks and, reducing the smile in the eyes, and just couldn't get it to look right. And I'm great at Photoshop, and I just couldn't get it to look right. So they sent the press release with no photo.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things I always tell people, like, we need options, and it's not always happy, smiley options.
Right.
Sometimes it's,
And
I don't want you to look like you're mad. I don't want you to look like you're mad, but I want you to, sometimes you got to be serious.
Right. And I try to tell my business portraits. I mean, I say things different to women than I say to men for different reasons, because, it's a whole other podcast, but about looking serious and coming across serious in a corporate headshot. And so I would, in those situations, do something smiling and not smiling. But for some reason, the CEO, I didn't have one. And it was a mistake. Oh, well. Anyway.
Yeah. Next one. Next thing. Years ago, during the transition period from film to digital, I had a potential client ask for bids for a major documentation project, 5,000 plus images, where the spec was that each one had to be delivered as a 3x5 print, a 35mm slide, and a digital file. Their plan was to index the images pasting the prints into a photo album with the file name written by hand below it.
They were going to write on the picture, like to archive it, to be able to see visually what the digital file name was on the picture.
Yeah.
So they wanted you to shoot chromes, scan the chrome, and get a print from the chrome.
No, they're like, I don't know if it's like this person's like, they're talking about like the scanning, I think maybe the 35mm slides, and then like shooting 35mm slides, scanning it for a digital file, and then printing it as a 30x5, and doing it, and then they're going to use.
Oh, right, and then kind of stapling in a book. So yeah, I believe that happens. Back in the transition, absolutely. Yeah, I believe that would happen.
But I mean, Photoshop has always had that proof sheet for like years since digital photography was around.
Yeah, but there were people, back when I worked in a studio in New Brunswick. I mean, we started with Photoshop 3.
Oh, I remember.
We were still shooting film. We were drum scanning them, saving them on, what were those drives called? Zip drives back in the day. I think the zip drive started at 250 megabytes and went to like 750 megabytes by the time that format became obsolete.
Yeah.
Megabytes, not gigabytes.
I know, megabytes. For those of you who are unaware what a zip drive is, it was a really big, it was like, oh God, how do I describe it to people who have only CDs?
It was like three floppies thick.
But then people who don't know what floppy disks are. I'm trying to how would you describe to Zennials, or I guess maybe even millennials, what a floppy or a zip drive was. Zip drives only existed for like 5 years.
Google it.
Zip drives only existed for like 5 years.
Yeah. Hey man, when I worked at IBM, I don't want to date myself, but there were people that had 5 1/4 inch floppies in their machines they were using.
I remember them.
They had 5 1/4 inch floppies. Were running personal computers.
DOS, maybe.
A long way.
Yeah, I've got.
When I bought my. Go ahead.
I'll send you a picture of my new setup for and you'll see how many like terabytes I'm like rocking right now.
Dude.
But yeah, well, moving on to the next one here. I had a wedding album client on her 20th revision send an edit on a page that had a gold background and asked me, could you make it more gold?
Oh, I'm sure that happens. Absolutely.
Just make it more gold.
There are people and their Photoshop requests, their editing requests, they're infinite in the things they'll ask you to do.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which is the same with the next one. I had a client send back an album proof with only one edit. Could you make this more artistic?
Sure. Yeah, I can make it more artistic. I'm not sure who the artist is that you're thinking of and like who's the arbiter of art, but yeah. You want to come sit with me and sit down with me and have a meeting and
I'll make a Picasso-esque if you'd like.
Right. We'll do his blue period, 1901 to 1904 or something, whatever.
Oh, I'm going Cubism. I'm gonna put your eye on the other side of your head, like both eyes are on one side of your nose.
A Cubist wedding. Hey, you might be onto something.
Hey, you know what?
A Cubist wedding.
Yeah, it's right there. Next one. Again. Here's another Photoshop revision. I was working on the album art for a CD, which I had done at least 10 revisions of at this point, and the client sent me a stock image of an angel that he wanted to use, and he said, "This angel looks like she's black or Mexican. Could you make her look white?"
Well, that person's obviously shooting weddings in red states. So yeah, I believe that absolutely happens. I believe, absolutely. People, you haven't shocked me yet. I believe so many of these things actually happen.
I'm sure, like, when I was going through and put these together, I was like, all right, we got a couple more. I had a blogger hire me for portraits, and then she asked me to use her camera because it makes the background all blurry.
Wow. Does that really happen? She probably asked her to use her phone. that iPhone portrait mode thing on her phone or something.
Well, it could have been before the iPhone portrait mode. Who knows?
Sure. Again, Casey, I believe all of these crazy requests. Yeah. People, I have corporate people that say, this corporate headshot, I look better in my Instagram photo. I go, yeah, because your Instagram photo, you held your hand straight up in the air above your head, you puckered your lips and looked up at the camera. And you can't use that angle for a corporate headshot.
Right. And you can it's X big on a phone screen. You're not printing it out for anything.
Right.
And also,
once you raise your hand above you and twist your neck and you look up at the camera, you look a lot better because it just took 40 pounds off of you.
Right.
I mean, come on. But I get that. I look better in my my Instagram photo. Okay.
Sure you do. Great.
Okay.
Good for you. All right, next one. I worked at a portrait studio for a while where we did passport photos. We had a guy who would come in every month to get a passport picture to use as his new Facebook profile picture. No smile.
About that. So he went with the cheap photo method.
No smile, straight on every time, but different clothes.
I mean, passport photos are pretty cheap, right?
Yeah, it's like $5.
I could see that happening. I never really thought about it, but I could see that happening. Also, there's a good potential he was up to some dirty shit.
Yeah, that's my guess. My guess is that he wasn't actually using those for his Facebook picture. He was saying he was using his for his
Russian passport, his Lithuanian passport. Yeah, there was some dirty stuff.
This is my driver's license, and from France.
Yeah, he kept getting DWI, so he get a new picture every time. Yeah, there's some shady stuff.
Yeah, that's not for a Facebook profile picture.
Do you think in this computer age that we're in now, people can make a fake passport still?
Well, I'm
scan
sure.
those passports at every airport.
Yeah.
So they swipe them through the reader.
I'm sure it's just a much more detailed process on the forgery end than it used to be. I
wonder if that's even an issue today. Or I guess the question is, are they getting through? I mean, they probably catch a lot of people trying, but are there people that are getting through with
the people who are getting through, I'm sure, are spending a huge sum of money.
You know what it also could be? Yeah, it could be a huge sum of money, but it also could be...
Did you watch Breaking Bad? Come on.
It could be some small country that has permission to issue a passport because it's a small country. And so you go in there with,
But suddenly you've got a bunch of, like, mobster-looking dudes who've got, like... passports from East Papua New Guinea.
Solomon Islands. Yeah, Papua New Guinea, Solomon Islands. Down here in Micronesia.
Yeah.
And they all look like they're from Bensonhurst in the 70s.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that my guess is, like, it just costs a lot of money and time. Yeah. It takes time and it probably costs money. That's my guess. All right, last one. And this actually goes back to what you were talking about. With your corporate client. After I delivered all the final images, my client asked me if I could edit them to make her smile more. She was not smiling at all in any of the photos, and asked me if I could make her smiling more in all of them.
Yes, I absolutely believe it absolutely happens. I've had clients that say they were wearing the wrong tie. And I was like, what? I swear to you, I'm not going to mention a client name. Big, huge corporate client. And the guy said, I'm wearing the wrong tie. Can you change my tie? And I asked his assistant, who asked me the question, what does this gentleman mean? And apparently let's just say, for example, he went to Harvard or he was a member of the yacht club or
whatever. Yeah.
He had the tie that he did not want representing him on the corporate webpage. I was like, okay, cool. Change the tie. What I do?
AF 2.0, why don't you tell the audience what time it is? And now for my favorite part of the show. What's that say? Useless information. This is always death. Hey, Rule of 3RDS. What's the topic for useless information this week?
Tiger.
All right, it's now time for useless information.
Let's do it.
Between 1902 and 1907, in India, one tiger killed 436 people. Same tiger. 436 people.
Wow. I guess they didn't have guns in India.
Well, here's
until 1908.
Why is there this big increase in guns? Well, you haven't seen this tiger, man.
My God.
Here's my question.
I don't know if I believe that.
Here's my question.
Figure a tiger on the wild.
My question.
I would. Go ahead.
How do they know it's the same tiger?
Yeah. We got to figure a tiger in the wild probably eats as much meat as a human.
More. They eat
but once a week or twice a week?
I mean, you're not saying tigers wouldn't necessarily strip you to the bone.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
And that's 5 years. I mean,
healthy tiger.
Yeah, I'm trying to imagine the eyewitness accounts of this, where they got.
This might tie us back to our passport story. Maybe
The tiger.
maybe someone owned that tiger and they were disposing of bodies in the tiger pen.
Maybe.
That's where they got rid of her.
That also possible.
That's how come they had a head count.
Yeah.
They go, oh yeah, boss, I got another one for you.
Just toss them in there. 436. But were there eyewitness? How do we know that it was the same tiger? It's like eyewitness accounts. Yo, it had stripes.
Didn't the movie Snatch? Wasn't the guy feeding them to his pigs?
Yes, but that's not all one pig.
No, but and did you watch Deadwood?
Yeah, pigs.
Yeah. So
Woo, getting rid of the
woo, swedging,
sweargin. Woo.
swedging, woo. Oh.
Yeah. It's but I mean,
cocksucker.
No. Two cocksucker. Woo. Two cocksucker.
Woo, go out the back door.
But this whole thing reminds me of. Have you ever seen The Meaning of Life? Monty Python.
Monty Python? Oh, it's great.
A tiger in Africa? Shh. That's what we call in the medical industry a tiger.
All right, next question. Go ahead.
No, that's it. That's it for this episode.
Oh, man.
We'll do another one soon. I mean, yeah, it's a lot of fun. We'll do another one of these soon.
I mean, it's either talk to you or go talk to my wife, and that's
Do not play.
Just kidding, honey. If you hear this podcast, I was only doing it for humor.
No, he wasn't, Mary Beth. All right, brother. I will talk to you again soon. Thanks for being on. We'll do this again real soon.
Casey, be safe. You're the best. I'll talk to you soon.
Take it easy, man. Okay, so we've managed to get the supplies we were looking for, and we're heading back to the ship. I'd like to thank my friend Anthony Collins for being on the show with us this week. You can learn more about Anthony at anthonycollins.nyc or check out his amazing bird photos from around New York at New Hawk City on Instagram.
Ushaga.
Oh, okay, it appears one of the locals might be trying to mug us, I think.
Yashiko. Nanisha.
Snug!
And Golden just unhinged his jaw and swallowed that guy whole. Okay. Better get everybody back in the ship. Fibonacci, can you do the credits while we get these supplies stowed away?
Of course. Rula 3RDS was played by Jen Clark. Jen is a regular at Go Comedy, where she performs with such groups as Cougar Den, JK, Snafu, and Magna Carta. Golden Hour, the Snug Warrior, was played by Fred Zorn. You can listen to Fred's internet radio show, The Dog's Ear, on Sunday mornings at 9 a.m. on bonepoolradio.com. Be sure to subscribe to the Nerdy Photographer podcast and leave a review on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, or wherever you get your podcasts. Also follow the Nerdy Photographer on Instagram at the Nerdy Photo.
Thanks, Fib.
Don't call me that.
Whatever you say, Phoebo. Time to get out of here before the local constabulary is alerted to what Golden just did. Until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay nerdy.